Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Scum episode. So today we're going to be having a little look at the AT4s. Now we have the AT4 HEAT and AT4 HEDP, also known as the high explosive dual purpose and the high explosive anti-tank rounds, also denoted by their colours. HEAT is yellow and HEDP is red. So there you go. In front of me right now is some modular building pieces. So we've got tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4 and tier 5. Today we're going to find out just how much damage each individual HEAT and HEDP round actually causes to base elements. Alright, starting with tier 1, this is Twig. This is basically the very start of your buildings as well as your walls as well. So it's just twigs. I believe the HP or the health points on this wall is 225. We're going to start off with the HEAT. We're going to start off with the HEAT round. Now, in order to actually set this thing up, you need to press R. It'll show off the iron sights and the firing mechanism. All you have to do is hold right click, or tap right click, and fire. So, 225 damage. HEAT rounds destroy tier 1 walls. That was quite obvious. So, once you're finished with that AT round, you can just put it down. It's spent, you can no longer reload it. Let's go over and check out the actual foundations. Let's see if it's actually done some splash damage. It didn't do any splash damage. This is a good reason to use the HEDP, the dual purpose round. So let's try that out. Same again. Take it into your hands. Press R. You'll reveal the iron sights and the firing mechanism. Aim down sights. Fire. Okay, so dual purpose is a wee bit like fragmentation. You can use it against vehicles, you can use it against bases, you can use it against players. But let's see how much damage it actually did to the foundations itself. Alright, that's a significant amount of damage. That's around almost 75 damage with one round. However, high explosive anti-tank went right through this wall. It probably exceeded 225 damage. Let's move on to tier 2. Tier 2. This wall has around 675 health points. So, hopefully, this thing withstands a HEAT round. Let's try it out. HEAT round, yellow coded. Press R. Aim down sights. And fire. Okay, so it survived one HEAT round. Let's go check it out. Let's see how much damage this actually did to this. So 675 down to 290. That is a significant amount of damage on this. Pretty much 400 and... was that 400 and... no, that's 300 and something, isn't it? Yeah, but 300 damage. Roughly around that. 300 damage. 300 damage plus. So, one HEAT round on tier 2 walls. You're gonna have to upgrade to tier 3, I think. Right, let's test out the remaining dual purpose round. Let's see if it can finish off this wall. Put that down. Pick up the dual purpose. Get them iron sights revealed. And fire. Okay, it's still standing. Let's go check it out. Let's see how close this thing is really to getting destroyed. 37 damage. So it went from 290 down to 37, so the fragmentation actually did an actual significant amount more damage to the wood than it did to that foundation right there. It might be due to the angle, it might be due to my firing ability, but it feels like this actually got inflicted even more damage with the dual purpose round. So a HEAT round, maybe 2 HEAT rounds, you're getting through wooden walls. Next up, tier 3. Tier 3 time. Now, this is totally metal. This is a full metal base, so this thing should withstand a HEAT round pretty well as the dual purpose. So, as usual, let's start with a HEAT round, and let's see how much damage gets inflicted on this base wall. Let's see what happens. Let's go check it out. I don't actually know offhand how much HP this wall has, but we're going to find out right now. Okay, so that's a good chunk of damage. That's at least a quarter or 3/4 of the health that's left on this. So we've done 1/4 damage to this wall. That's really good. That's really good. It's going to take 4 AT rounds to probably knock this thing down. So if you can get your hands on 4 AT rounds or 4 AT4s, high explosive anti-tank, you're going to bring down these walls, at least one wall with 4 rounds. Let's test out the dual purpose. Let's test out the fragmentation. So we are on 747 HP. Let's see what it knocks it down to. I estimate it down to maybe 600, in the region of 600 or something like that. Just shy of 500, maybe 590. Just going by the overall damage from the previous 2 walls. Let's check this out. Is it down to 600 or 500? 500 on the nose. That was well guessed. So, there you go. 1 heat round and 1 dual purpose round does at least half or more than half the damage on this metal wall. You're still going to need at least 4 AT and I believe maybe 5 dual purpose for the AT4s. So there you go. Moving on to tier 4. Let's go. Alright. Tier 4. This is a full brick wall with a full brick foundation. This is going to have a lot of health points. We're going to need a lot of high explosive anti-tank for this and maybe significantly more dual purpose. Let's check out the heat round first. This is not going to have a lot of effect in this, I believe. It's not going to take off a big portion of damage, but we'll find out in just a second here. Heat round away. Let's see the overall damage. High explosive anti-tank shed off at least 400, 380, 376 damage on this. So, if you have a base built out of this particular wall type, specifically the bricks, you're going to be well protected. The enemy team, unless it's a high loot server, are going to have a hard time trying to find AT4s lying just around the place. So, this is probably the wall type you want to aim for if you want to build a base in a high pop server with a lot of people and a lot of loot. Let's try out the dual purpose. Let's see what happens to it. So that was about, we'll call it 400 damage, right? Just to round it up. We'll call it 400 damage. Let's see what we do with the dual purpose. Let's see what happens. Let's see how much damage this inflicts. So, we're at 1,400. Dual purpose away. Actually less damage, about 380 damage. There or abouts, 380, maybe less than that. But there you go. High explosive anti-tank. They're the ones you're probably going to need to knock down a wall just like this. These are both the same wall type. This is a brick foundation and this is a brick wall. You're going to need a lot of AT4s. Maybe 6 or 7, maybe even 8 to take down one of these walls. Next up, Tier 5 concrete. Tier 5 concrete walls. This is the big daddy of any base. This is around in the region of 2,300 health points. Let's check out what the heat has to say about that. I suspect we're only going to shed about 300 damage off of this. So this is going to have at least 2,000 HP left on it. Let's check it out. Let's run over. Let's see if my my calculations are correct. 2,300 HP. Oh wow! It did 400 and a bit. 400 and a bit damage. That's pretty solid. Or there enough. We'll call it 400. It's actually 398 damage to a concrete wall. You're probably going to need about 10 of the AT rounds to get through this thing. This is a beefy boy wall. Let's see what the dual purpose has to say about it. I suspect we're not going to do a lot of damage to this. I think we're going to do in the region about 290 damage, thereabouts. Right, dual purpose. Let's see what you have to say about it. Reveal the iron sights. Trigger mechanism loaded. Ready to fire. Clear backblast. Fire away. Oh, splash damage actually destroyed the wooden wall. That's interesting. I like that. Let's see this wall. Oh, that's actually done a lot of damage. Okay, so I was kind of right. In the region of 290, 280 damage for the dual purpose. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. AT4s versus Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3, Tier 4, and Tier 5 walls. The splash damage on the dual purpose destroyed the wooden wall. Which means, if you have a base made out of wood and you're only using dual purpose to blow it up, you're going to do a lot of damage to the surrounding walls, because it's also done damage to the foundation. So, let's move on to the RPG-7. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I have reset all the walls, and here we have the two RPG rounds, the OG-7V and the PG-7M. This one right here is the anti-tank rocket. This one here is a fragmentation round. So, the cool thing about these rounds is, or at least the advantage of the RPG-7, is that you can actually store up the RPG rounds inside a backpack. You can then press R, he'll reload from his backpack, and there you go. You can have multiple rounds in a backpack. You can designate one of your friends to be the RPG or the light anti-tank unit, and they can carry around a bunch of RPG rounds. The benefit of this, the AT4 can only be fired once, the RPG-7 can be fired multiple times. So, let's see what the AT round has to say about a twig wall. Not much, it seems. Not much, it seems. I believe it's around the same damage, but we'll find out from the... Oh, okay. So, I reset the foundations as well, and that's done 152... about 100 damage, less than 100 damage. It's almost halfway. Let's just finish off with the fragmentation round. Let's check this bad boy out. Fragmentation round, away. I missed. I actually missed. I missed. I'm just gonna steal this one. I'ma just steal this one. And I'm gonna step up here, and I'm gonna aim properly. I believe these sights are 0 to 100 meters, or maybe 50 meters, I am not sure, but we'll find out. That's better. Okay, that's about 150 damage altogether on that little foundation. Right, let's move to tier 2. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, tier 2, wooden wall time. Let's pick up the RPG round, the AT round. Let's see how much damage we inflict on a wooden wall. One thing that the RPG could be doing with, and I said this on my live stream when we were doing the event, when he inserts the AT round, he needs to click it to the left. He needs to twist it to the left so it clicks into place. That's just a little minor detail that I want them to add to it. AT round, away. AT round, absolutely decimated. Tier 2 RPG round, AT, high explosive AT round, went right through. It went right through the tier 2 wall. That's incredible. Right, RPG round through the tier 2 wall. Just cut it down. It cut it down. Let's try the fragmentation round. Let's see if we can frag this little foundation right here. Gonna aim just below it. And it went pop. So fragmentation round and AT round absolutely disintegrated both tier 1 and tier 2 walls. Let's move on to tier 3. Ladies and gentlemen, I've made a little discovery. I found out that the splash damage from the fragmentation rounds is actually very, very spread out. It's actually doing damage to the rear tier 5 wall. So, if you're going to be using the RPG fragmentation round and the AT round, you're going to do a lot of damage to the surrounding wall tiles. You might burst open two entranceways, if you're lucky. If you aim between the creases, as in, if you aim right there, and if you imagine a wall just being right here, if you're to shoot right there, you're doing 2 lots of damage in the same location, and you'll pop 2 entranceways wide open. Anyway, tier 3 wall. Let's see what we have to do with this. AT round first, as usual. Let's load it up. I wish I could hear the shing shing into the tube, but no matter. Let's figure out how much damage he does. Okay, first one that's standing. This is good. Oh. RPG may need a little bit of a nerfing. It may need a little bit of a nerfing because one fragmentation round in that wall section is coming down. That was one anti-tank round launched directly at the wall. Let's just finish it off. with the fragmentation round. That needs a little bit of balance in my humble opinion. You may say something different, but I believe an AT4 may actually be a little bit more powerful than an RPG-7. Anyway, goodbye tier 3 wall. That is unheard of. That's crazy. That's so crazy. Right. Okay, so it did a lot. It did 15 damage to that bit right there. Splash damage didn't affect the tier 5 wall. Tier 4 wall did not affect it at all. Okay, so it turns out if you use an AT round and a fragmentation round against tier 3 walls, you are in deep trouble. You are indeed in deep trouble. Right, ladies and gentlemen, next on the line, tier 4. Let's go. Okay, I have my hopes up for tier 4. Hopefully it can withstand an RPG round, at least an AT round. Let's see what this thing does. I am really hoping that this does not do at least half the damage on this wall. Otherwise, these rounds are gonna need nerfed. They are desperately gonna need nerfed. Or the AT4s are gonna need to get buffed. Either one shall suffice. Right, firing away, 3, 2, 1. Hit just the upper center of the wall, so it's directly in the middle. What damage did we do? Oh my god, it did over half. It did over half! It did over half! Oh my god! Okay, let's look at the fragmentation round. This is a good gauge. So the damage, the overall damage that we did do to that is it's a little bit over the top. A little bit over the top. RPG-7 might need a little bit of a nerfing. However, let's just see the overall damage from the fragmentation round. Let's check this out. It's still standing. It's still standing. But only by 31 health points. Okay, so the AT round knocked this down to around 730 health points. So we shed off 1,000 health points from a tier 4 wall. After that, we shed it down to 31 HP with a fragmentation round. We did around, or roughly, 700 damage with the fragmentation round and 1,000 with the AT round. Next on the line is the concrete wall, and I don't have anything good to say about this. It's probably going to suffer. Okay, the final test. The final tier of wall. Tier 5, cement or concrete if you will. Starting off with the anti-tank. The heat round. Let's see how much damage this does. This wall has 2,300 health points. Let's see how one heat round affects it. Let's go see. Let's go see. Let's go find out what we've done. It's going to be 1,000 plus. 1,000, nearly 1,100 damage. Nearly 1,100 damage on one anti-tank RPG round. That is disgusting. Let's see what the fragmentation round does to this. It should do around 700 damage, so it should knock it down to the region of 400 HP. Something around there. It's 1,300 right now, so yeah, about 600, 500. 600 or 500 HP. Let's see what happens. Center mass shot, let's go check it out. 550 health points left on the concrete wall. Holy shit! Oh my god! So, if you want to destroy a concrete wall and you have an RPG-7 and you've got 2 heat rounds, you are punching a hole very quickly. You are punching a hole through just about every single wall tier here. But next, we're going to try out the big walls, the 2 meter high walls. Let's check that out. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, quick reset again. We now have the 2 meter high walls, ranging from tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, 4 and 5. We're going to start off with the RPG. In my backpack, I have 5 RPG-7M rockets, ready to rock and roll. So, from about here, let's see what happens to tier 1 walls against an AT round fired from an RPG-7. Okay, so that was quite obvious what was going to happen there. It got destroyed. Over 1,000 damage off of an AT rocket. Next, tier 2. Let's see what happens from this general distance. Dead. Completely dead. Tier 2 did not survive. Did not survive at all. Oh my god. Okay, tier 3, please survive. Please survive. It survived. It survived. This is good. This is very, very good. Let's go check this out, and we'll also check out the splash damage on the tier 4. What is it looking like? Wow. Jeez. Oh. That's about 800 damage right there. 800 damage to a tier 3 wall. So it'll take 2 AT rounds to get through a 2-meter high wall at tier 3. Let's see if it did any splash damage. Absolutely no splash damage. Right. Let's see what a tier 4 does. Tier 4 wall, please survive. It survived. Reloading my RPG. Let's see what the damage is on a tier 4 wall. Okay, so the walls are holding up a lot better. They're holding up a lot better than the base elements. So the walls might be your saving grace at this point. Right, concrete wall. Let's see what a concrete wall does. Let's see how much damage it actually soaks here. Because that soaked a lot of damage from the AT round. Fire. Let's put away the RPG for just a moment. Okay, so a concrete wall is going to be the ultimate base protector, especially if you're going to be fighting people that have got RPGs on them. Next, we're going to see what the effects of the AT4 actually is, the heat rounds. Let's check that out. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I have on my person 5 AT4 heat rounds. As you can see, 2 fit inside neatly inside the hiking backpack. You could probably fit a third one, just like so. Easy peasy, but I'm going to keep that on my back. And we're going to be starting off at tier 1. I have no hopes for tier 1 walls. This is probably going to penetrate and destroy the wall. Here we go. Drop that down. Take the next one out. Tier 1 did not survive. Tier 2, I have some hopes for. Tier 2 survived. Let's go check out what tier 2 has in terms of HP. Oh, it only done 300 damage. 300 damage to the wall here. Now remember, this is an AT round. This is anti-tank round. This is a penetrating round. So it's done 300 damage to that wall right there. Right, next one. AT round versus tier 3 wall. Remember to deploy your iron sights in the firing mechanism. Fire! We'll just drop that in the ground for right now. Put that on our back. And that one on our back. Yep. Oh, less than 300 damage. Oh, no, 300 damage. 300 damage. Thereabouts 300 damage. So, we're seeing a pattern here. The AT heat rounds, or the AT4 heat rounds, only do around 300 damage, it seems. Tier 4, I have high hopes for this. This is not going to make a dent. Yeah, no dents whatsoever on tier 4 walls versus the heat round for the AT4. Right, tier 5, let's see what happens. I mean, we have to do it. We have to. I don't believe it's gonna move anything. It's not even gonna be a quarter. It's gonna be a tiny amount. Absolutely minuscule. Right, from this consensus using the AT4s and the heat rounds, it seems they're not very good when it comes to, you know, the 2-meter high walls. They're quite good against base elements though. So maybe worthwhile using those instead. Or maybe if you find a vehicle, you could probably just blow that up. Because heat rounds, especially the AT4 heat rounds, you know, they're designed to kill vehicles. So maybe just use them for vehicles. And when you come to raid a base, maybe get your hands on an RPG-7, maybe some AT rounds, maybe some fragmentation rounds, and you'll probably do a considerable amount of damage, especially to base elements. Maybe not so much the 2-meter high walls, but definitely the base elements, the modular building elements. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that's all I've got for you today. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you have, leave a thumbs up on this video. If you want to see more videos like this, please please subscribe to the channel, ring the little bell, stay up to date with videos just like this, as well as a Sunday night live stream which starts between 6 and 7 PM UK. We go for about 3 or 4 hours playing Scum, Stalker, DayZ, all matter of survival games. It's usually a lot of fun. I'd like to see you there. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, the next video that you're probably going to see from me is the cooking rework for 0.85. This has been the AT launchers for 0.85 and their damage versus modular base elements as well as free build 2 high meter walls. 2 high meter walls? 2 meter high walls. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm away, get a cup of tea. Hope you all have a lovely day. As always, I've been Mr. Feudal. I'll see you all another time.